What's going on, everybody? Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to another episode of the amazing Fair Shake Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Fats the Beast. Can I get it for the one time? Now, introducing the rest of my cast.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Killer Ghost, aka Chris. Hopefully everyone's healthy at home, dealing with this pandemic. Hopefully you guys enjoy this podcast, and on to the next host.
What's up, guys? Young boy Keeve. This is gonna be a great one. Pass it into my man's bro.
Good morning, everybody. Good evening, everybody. Whatever time you're listening to this today. I hope everyone's doing good out there. Like Kev and Chris and Fats mentioned before, previous podcast. Hopefully things will start turning around. Finna get mango after this. No huevos. My Spanish spot actually started opening up this Saturday. Well, last Saturday.
Ooh.
So I'm so hyped for that. And now on to the show.
Great job, everybody. All right, so going on to the segment that we introduced last episode. Last episode we watched Captain America, and we're gonna go on chronological order, watching all the MCU movies, rating them and ranking them on the YouTube channel. So from then we decided to do two movies so that way it could go on a little quicker. That way the segment doesn't drag. The movies that we watched were Captain Marvel and the first Iron Man movie. So, with that being said, starting off with the first one, Captain Marvel. Let's hear your thoughts. Pro, I'm going to start with you, brother.
So Captain Marvel, in my opinion, like I mentioned before, I'm tired of the origin stories because they're tied and true. Sometimes I wish films had not films, but I wish the origin films were more like started in the middle. You understand? Where as opposed to us seeing everything how they get their powers. But I guess in this case, we had to see. Um, that being said, I didn't like this one because it was really boring. It didn't feel like a Marvel film. It felt almost like a DC film, like where it's just like nonsense talking, you know. Um, that cliche of trust in yourself, don't trust in yourself, then believe in yourself, allow yourself to be strong was kind of ass. And what I didn't like is that they wrote her in such a way where she's just too fucking brolic. Like she's essentially, I think she's possibly even stronger than Thor and Hawk. The way they, later on down the line when we see her come back up again. So
I feel you on that. Me personally, um, I'm just a superhero fanatic, right? So I enjoy all movies, whack and good. This one was, like you said, was boring. I don't think there was enough action in the movie. I don't think she was too powerful because I don't think they showed her powers enough as they did in future movies. Um, but yeah, it was pretty dull.
it was like
Like,
subpar. And the other thing I didn't like too was fucking Samuel L. Jackson, like the way he got his scar.
yeah,
Um, what's his name in the films? I fucking
Nick
forgot.
Fury,
Nick Fury.
only
Um,
Fury. His kids gonna call him Fury.
and I just didn't like the fact that I don't know, like that whole thing with the cat and having an alien creature inside of it. That's why they were scared of it or whatnot. I don't know. They could have added so much. They could have done something better to him losing his eye.
Yeah, I agree. I guess it was just like to fuck around in the movie, like to make it because he's a badass, so make it seem like it wasn't like his big thing that he lost his eye and they do some stupid shit.
Hmm.
I guess that's the direction they went for. Uh,
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I felt like they wanted to make it like a funny, like a joke, but I just felt like the movie was kind of cheesy. Like the whole movie was cheesy, it was boring, and it was just like dragons.
yeah, I agree.
I'm about to rant, yo. Y'all ready for this?
Hold up. There you go.
This movie sucked. I fell asleep during this shit. It's so ass. She's trying to be like she's trying to be too funny at a lot of points. Like I don't know if you guys noticed, she tries to in the movie like
Hmm.
she tries to crack a lot of jokes, and like 75% of them don't hit. The only thing that's good about this movie is to me is Nick Fury. He has some funny lines and he has funny moments, but other than that, this movie's ass. I don't like her as a character. Like she's boring to me. She
I don't
like
like her
you
as an actor. So
me, I agree with that too. That's number two, yeah. I don't like Pro says she's kinda like in future movies we see like they kinda make her like the Superman of not even because I like Superman more than her. Like they kind of make her she's boring and she's too OP. Like I don't like her at all, to be honest. She makes I don't know, she makes the movie boring. The story's boring. The way she gets her powers is boring.
boring.
I hate
And
this
She
movie.
shoots the engine of the
100%.
ship.
If we're gonna can we say our ratings?
yeah, I'm
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
that
Move
one for
on.
me is a fucking
I
one.
yeah, I give it 1.5. I one whole star is just because of Samuel Jackson. If not,
And
it's
the
point 0.5.
but what bothers me
I
about
give it
that one
1.5.
is that I think that's the last one. Correct me if I'm wrong. Stan Lee, may he rest in peace, was actually filmed in one of the Marvel
I think
films,
so, yeah.
Yeah,
and
that's why the intro was just him.
and it was just like seeing that resonated with me. Like that's what my emotional link was. It was just like when I seen him show up on screen in the newspaper, it was just like, damn, like
This
that's
movie
deep.
didn't do him justice. So
Not at
Hmm.
all.
the other ones did.
So that one is a one for me.
Yeah, it's 1.5. I could maybe go down to one also.
I gave it a 1.5. It was a 1.5 for me. It wasn't awful where it's just like I don't want to watch this shit. It was, it was okay. It was just boring. The first 2/3 of the movie was boring. The final 1/3 was okay.
I give it a 1.5, only because they introduced the scrolls.
I,
So
that's
it's
another thing. Aren't they supposed to be bad? I don't understand
Yeah,
that.
and that's one thing because I have a few comics. There's one that I love, Secret Invasion, where it's fucking beast, and they come off like super, not super brolic, but like almost like unequivocally like unchallenged. But here is like they're pussies. They're running away from fucking another person that's trying to get them and shit. And it's just like I don't know.
Yeah, I like that they
And
showed the young Ronin.
yeah, I wanted to know what's maybe I have to watch the rest, I guess, and remember. But
hmm
what's like their connection? Is he a whatever too, a crow, whatever that shit is, a
Yeah,
But
crow?
he,
Ronan,
yeah.
Yeah.
is it? He's
no,
a
he's
child
not.
of Thanos.
Yeah, he's
But so
later
why he's talking to the Kree?
I think he is.
because
That's why.
no, I think the way if it makes sense because the way I took it is that it was how it's one just big universe, right?
Uh
So they had to tie him in to bring him on later on when he's in the Guardian of the Galaxies, you know,
so he's just there for
because
plot
he ends up
purposes.
holding he ends up holding the what is it, the power one? Was it the power
Yeah, but
stone?
he talks to the Kree guy, the bad guy that's
Yeah.
like
He
But
was
training him.
isn't
there
the one of the stones in this movie?
the Tesseract.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
So
Tesseract.
he was trying to get. Wasn't he trying to get it too for Thanos?
But
That
how,
was that was
but
his
That was
main
it.
mission.
was the Tesseract? Did they know that shit? Because maybe I fell asleep. Did they know it was in that shit that she built? I guess that professor built. Because I don't get why he's talking to them at all.
I don't know.
I mean, there's a reason why you fell asleep. So for
Yeah, that's
me, it's a
true too.
solid one.
That is very.
Don't overthink it.
Um, what was the other one? Iron Man.
All right, man.
Yeah, let's move on to Iron Man.
So that guy, he's a G. I that was the first film in the series the way they were released, but chronologically, that's the third one in the series of the Marvel Universe films. it was just really fun, seeing Tony Stark be an asshole, like a genuine asshole. And although it's an older film, the CG held up. Not like Captain America being more, I, Captain America came later on down the line, but I don't know, maybe they had different animators and CGI artists on it. That the Iron Man one was really good.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. I was like, this is not that bad.
Hmm. And it just hearing those sounds when like he lands, you know, I loved it. Um, Probably one of my favorite scenes is when like he's like, fuck this, I'm Iron Man, and he just goes out to the Middle East and he's just like fucking shit up.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I thought that was really
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, the movie, for it being what it was coming out at its time, especially when technology is way more advanced than what it was before. For the movie, it was great to me. Especially seeing that I know you're tired of seeing all these origin films from superheroes, but the fact that they showed everything that Iron Man went through, I think based off everybody he went through, some shit. Losing his pops, especially him thinking that his pops didn't care much about him and not being able to give his pops, the last farewell that he wanted to give him losing his heart, them keeping him captive and shit like that. Like, I think he's been through like the top most shit when it comes to most of these Avengers.
But I
Um,
think cause it is true, I am tired of the origin films. But I think at the time, because it wasn't so saturated the way it is now, it didn't bother me. That's something I didn't even think about.
mhm.
Um, but seeing his transition throughout the film, his growth, when he realized that, oh shit, my weapons are being used for war.
Yep.
I thought, for a lot of people that's an epiphany. That's like, damn, is this what's really going on? So.
Hmm. And I might add that he's a fucking genius.
Hmm.
Like the way the movie portrayed him, and he was a fucking like his mind was endless. Like the shit that he created, the way he made the suit, even in the him being captive and shit, the way he made his escape,
Yeah.
his fucking brains is ridiculous.
I
yeah.
me
The irony that gets me is that the bomb, the shit that they used it against him, and it had his name on it. So
Yeah.
that should need to killed him.
The Jericho, was it?
I don't think it was a Jericho. It was just like some missile shit. It just says Stark Industries on it though,
Mm.
because they
me
wanted
I
they wanted they wanted him to make the Jerichos.
Yeah. I really like this one. It's first off, it's funny. Like it's not like Captain Marvel that wasn't funny at all. This
Yeah.
one has a lot of funny jokes and stuff. Downey nailed Iron Man. Like I think he's the perfect person
Oh
to.
yeah.
Nobody could play Tony Stark better than him. I think he's perfect. He portrays the asshole, the playboy, all that, the funny guy, all that shit perfectly. And then like Pro said, his growth from being like a playboy or whatever, like joking around and shit, and then having gone through all the stuff he did and where he was in the movie, and then he changes, later on, and all the stuff that we see later on, and the ending of Avengers and shit. It's a good story for him. I think of him as he's probably like if there was a main character, he would of the whole Avengers, it's him.
Yeah.
At
Mm,
least
I
to
hear
He's
me.
that.
my personal favorite out of the Avengers. Out of the like, uh, you know, I do love the Hulk. I think he's amazing. But Iron Man is like, he's like the man. You understand? He's tech savvy. He knows all that. He's like a fucking, you
Yeah,
know,
he's
he's one of the. I know in the comic books, he's considered top 4 or 5 smartest people on Earth, next to Reed Richards, which is Mr. Fantastic, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Banner, I think is Modoc. Is it Modoc? That fucking floating head shit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Doctor Doom. Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, I'm probably missing some like two more, but he being able to and the Ant Man, not Hank Pym. Is it Hank Pym?
I thought it was
The the
re,
original Ant Man.
Yeah, that's
um
his name. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the original Ant Man
I
that's a
I
genius.
I think I know what you're talking about. Didn't they throw Reed Richards' son's name in there too?
He ended up having like his mom and his dad's power or some shit, right?
Yeah, but that he was way smarter than anybody else.
hmm Probably, but I mean, for like the most part, is I would have to go through all like my stacks of comics to like find it or whatever. But
Mm.
for a fact, I wouldn't doubt it.
What y'all rating it?
For me, um, unbiased would be a 4. Bias a 5.
Ooh, damn. I was gonna say a 3.
I would give it
I have
a
it 3
4.
out of 5.
Yeah, 3 out of 5 is for me.
Yeah, I was gonna give it a 3.5.
So the general one is 3.5 for this one.
That's like an average, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
for Captain America, we had it at a what? 2.5.
2.5.
Um, Iron Man, no, Captain Marvel is a 1 or 1.5, right?
yeah, one and a
Mm.
half.
And then Iron Man is at a 3.5. So right now, Iron Man's in the lead.
Yep. It's
Iron
Iron
Man,
Man 1,
Captain.
Captain America 2, and then Captain Marvel 3 for right now.
Okay.
That would be the list.
So you guys will see it up on screen on the left side, and as we continue doing these, I'll just keep adding them every week. Okay, guys?
Yep, yep.
Wonderful.
And
They
if
can also sorry
yeah,
to cut you off, Kev.
now you go.
The fans and the listeners, you can do it with us too. If you wanna put your rankings or your rating in the comments, we'll be glad to, listen and hear it and read it.
Definitely, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, argue with us. Let us know if we're wrong.
Yeah, especially about Captain Marvel, because I could argue for days about that movie.
Yeah, and it's the thing is, what bothered me a lot about that film is that obviously Disney is a fucking they're a powerhouse. They own everything. Anything that they can get a hand on, they're gonna get their hand on, right?
Except me.
Anything they get their hand on, they will. Marvel has some of the best writers, right? And the way they wrote this film was just like, God damn. On a side note, last week it was May 4th. So you guys know on Disney Plus, the last Star Wars film came out again. Well, dropped on that, and I rewatched it again, and I feel like that movie could have been done 100 times better. That trilogy
Yep.
could have been done 100 times better. You know, and I don't want to go on a side note. You have the money, you have the writers, put them to write a good film. You know, the power stuff, the CGI stuff of blasting fucking people through here, there. Okay, that last part in Captain Marvel was not even remotely funny. Where he's like, "Oh, what is it like? Show me what you really got," and then she just like fucking special beam cannons him through a fucking rock.
Yeah,
It was
that's
it,
just
it
I'm.
just fell
That's what I'm
flat.
saying. That movie was not funny at all.
hmm
It tried way too hard.
So I would say for that, I'm at peace.
I feel bad for whoever went to the movie theaters to watch that shit.
I did.
Did I?
Oof.
Do you guys remember
Nah,
when I
hell no,
had?
I didn't.
You guys remember when I sent y'all the picture when I had fucked up my ankle,
Mm.
Yeah,
right? I actually had went to the theaters. Thank God I got it on a Tuesday, like at fucking $6 and some shit. And I was just like from beginning to end, I'm like, oh my God,
it's
this can't be
bad.
what I'm watching, you know?
It's bad.
And I don't want to anything against Brie Larson. I like her in the movie The Room. I like her in some other movies, but this film it didn't do any justice.
Um. Anyway, so did you guys see that Xbox conference that came out today?
Yes.
Anything stand out to you guys?
I'll let Kev take the reins for this one.
Yeah, go ahead, Kev.
I felt like it was subpar. It wasn't anything too crazy. They threw a couple, to me, a little big ones here and there, but then it was just like pretty. It was pretty meh, just like that movie. So um, they were like doing Dirt 5 or whatever. Not really too sure what number is on because that game sucks.
Yeah, like who
I was
asked for that
hoping
game?
for a Forza. That's what I
it's
was hoping for.
it was a third party conference. That's why.
That shit was Dirt
Like the
45.
first party, the first party they said in the beginning that it's gonna be in July or something. That they're
Mhm.
gonna show all their first party stuff. That one I hope is gonna be better. But I agree, this one was kind of subpar. Like that. I don't remember the name of the game, but the first game they showed that looked like Crisis. I don't know if you guys ever
Bro, I
saw
was
that
saying the
game.
same shit. I was like, this game
It
looks
looks fire.
terrible.
Like, nah,
Like
what?
aesthetically,
The
it looked
graphics look
nice,
fire, bro.
but it was too much. For me, it was too much going on. I didn't know what the fuck
Nah, I
what it
feel you. I
was.
feel you.
And then the dude playing the game or that little trailer that they did, the dude was missing. He was trash.
Nah, I feel you. And then there wasn't much. Like, I'm a fan of Yakuza, so that kind of got me hyped. But I saw that a while ago for PlayStation. They already showed that. And the Assassin's Creed, it was quote supposedly gameplay. There was no fucking gameplay in that shit.
Not at all.
It was all cinematic. Like I'm hyped for that game too because Odyssey was really good.
Unless throw you guys a bone. Unless the cinematic is the gameplay,
Oh
and
my
that's how
god,
fire the series looks.
I
bro,
was
that
saying the
shit
same
pissed
shit. I
me
was like,
off. I'm like, what?
this is all cinematic, bro. Where is the
Where's the
actual game?
gameplay? Yeah, like they kind of fucked up today. I mean, I was hype. I put my alarm and everything to see that shit.
Yeah, I was actually watching it through uh, um, uh, a meeting too, so I had it on the side playing, and it was just like I w- I knew what to expect because I love the transparency that Microsoft had. Phil Spencer said we're not gonna drop any new exclusives into a year after, and I get that because you want people to catch up, especially with their smart delivery, which is that's a selling point. You understand? That right there alone is a selling point.
Yeah, most of the games they showed, they all had that on the bottom, like
hmm
smart delivery or whatever.
You know, and I think that's good because a person like me, I had bought Grand Theft Auto 5 on the 360, and then it dropped on the one, and I bought it on the one. You know,
Yeah, me too.
and did I really need to? Yeah, because I wanted to play the multiplayer. Do I play it? No. But I like that being able to play your library onto the new console. I think that's great. For me, I couldn't find nothing that stuck out. Like nothing. I thought Scorn for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought Scorn was gonna be that game Elden Ridge.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
thought it was because it gave me like that
Okay.
those vibes. But you guys know well. You saw it in the text. I said, you know,
To
nothing
be
stuck out
honest,
to me.
Nah, yeah.
that's the only thing that really stuck out to me was that game scoring. It looked like some type of I don't know if you have ever seen Prometheus, that movie.
Oh yeah.
To me, it reminded me a lot of that, and it looked like some kind of alien shit. It was fire. I want to see more of that shit.
The one the one that looked okay too was the one with the lady that she was like pregnant and then she was like she had like the knife in like her stomach. I don't know what the hell the
It's
Was
called the
that the
medium.
vampire one?
no. That vampire one looked crazy.
I think
It
you
looked
talk about
mad
Scorn.
weird.
It's
No. It was
the
called
medium. The medium.
the medium. Yeah, that one. That one.
Oh, that's the creators of Silent. Is it Silent Hill?
Silent Hill. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
That
yeah,
one looks
because
that one looks kind of cool.
they had the musical director to that.
They
He
had a
said
lot of
right.
horror games. I noticed.
hmm
Yeah.
I
A lot of
mean,
games
but if
I
you
won't
think
be
about it,
buying.
during that time when it does come out, it is Halloween season.
Yeah.
Um, that the game with the zombie, the fucking vampire shit. the guy that
That
was
shit looks
dancing
so
around
weird, bro.
and fucking prancing and shit. I thought that was Jesse Eisenberg
I
as his
It
thought
name.
looked
so
like
too.
him. It looked like him.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, this guy's getting his own game. He's a killer. You know. In fact, I could see that being a film. You know, because it gave me that film vibe.
It was
Like,
creepy. Yeah, those
yeah,
puppets and shit were
is
creepy.
is
but those
that
were real
gonna,
people. They.
that's the sequel to the other
Yeah.
vampire game, right?
I have no idea,
I've
bro.
never
I
even
Oh,
thought it
played any
was.
vampire games.
I
if it
thought it
is
was, but
or
the
it
the, the
isn't,
vampire that's spelled Vampyr, right? That
yeah,
game.
that shit is
I thought.
terrible.
Nah, I thought it was, but I don't think so because it says Bloodline 2, some shit like that. It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, they had like a lot of like Kev said with dirt. Like, bring something else
I
out.
don't give a fuck about
That
dirt.
what about that dinosaur look? It looked like it's a shooter that you kill
It's
dinosaurs or
like a
something.
survivor.
Like, I
Second
could see,
Extinction, I think it's called.
Yeah, that's
I
what
could
it's called.
It
see it
was
being like a Left 4
trash.
Dead type of game, you know. But I don't know. It's another game like, do I really? For
Another
me, at
Turok.
least. Yeah,
Another
that's what I
Turok.
thought it was. That's what I thought it was.
Shit was trash.
Man.
Most of those games, all those games, honestly, was fucking trash.
And
And
I was not
I
impressed at
was
all.
watching after I don't like to well I was watching, I'm not gonna say the name of the podcast or whatever, but I was watching people talk about it and they were right, like they should have showed more, like maybe the load times, like how fast they are, like shit
yeah,
like
that
that.
makes fucking sense. Like, okay, you have a system, right, that looks like a fucking computer tower. There's no
Speaking of
ifs, ands, or
that,
buts.
not
Go
to
ahead.
cut you off, did you see the guy? He had the fridge in the back
Yeah.
and it was the Xbox.
Oh, yeah. That guy, he had did that little demonstration of the green screen. You think that was part of the Xbox itself?
Nah,
Because if
nah.
Xbox does something like that where you could get some type of integration, like you just find your own webcam, not get the fucking Connect, because that shit is dick. But get
I don't think so.
whatever kind of webcam you have and just put it up, and it'd be like that. I guarantee you, people will start streaming a lo loco.
Oh, of course.
Possibly, yeah.
You
But I
know, I
don't think
think
so. I think that was just him.
making things accessible to people, if that's some, let's just say if it was something like that to the consumer or to the person that just likes to play and talk shit or just play in general, I think that's good because it gets a lot of people to doing these things. Like, um I don't watch fucking TV. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I watch cable TV. I have fucking Verizon TV, but I don't watch it. Most of my stuff I watch on, Hulu and all that extra shit. But when it comes to gaming, yeah, it is saturated, and finding someone that you like to watch that you find interesting. But if it makes it accessible to people to do, I think that's good. You look for
Yeah.
exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, yeah. So I really wasn't impressed by the whole video, the whole segment. But I am impressed by some of the specs from the Xbox in general. But they could have showed more on the system itself.
I mean, I'm really hyped for that Assassin's Creed. That's the only real. I really wanted to see gameplay because it looks like from the cinematics, it looks like a movie. To be honest.
I like that they went with the Viking way.
Yeah, me too. Because I don't know if y'all played Odyssey. Odyssey was really good, but the only thing is, people say it was a bit long, so they said they're gonna make this one a little bit shorter.
hmm
I love
Like,
when the game is long though. It gives you, fucking chance to fucking play.
now I think there's long and then there's excessively long. You know, like I am a big believer in getting your money's worth. You want to play a game that you paid and that money is worth that price. Because Resident Evil 3 butchered it. $60 for a fucking 5-hour campaign that people are, speed running it in fucking 3 hours is bizarre.
That's
I mean,
insane.
that's all the Resident Evils. If you played the original ones, the
Yeah.
original ones were fast as fuck. They weren't long at all.
So it wasn't for you. It wasn't hard at the first time you played it. Like you flew right through it.
Yeah.
Wow, goddamn, you're a beast.
Well, I love Resident Evil games.
Hence the name.
You feel me?
um, to your point you said about the Viking stuff. Um, I always thought as Vikings as being brutish. You know, like they're big war guys. Um, they don't have a sort of finesse. I would like to see what kind of fighting style this new guy is gonna have, because I think the biggest assassin was Connor from Assassin's Creed 3. Is it 3?
Yeah. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
right.
And that's my favorite. Actually, that's actually my only Assassin's Creed game that I actually like the most, honestly.
That's the
Um
one that that's the reason I stopped playing.
oh really?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's it's funny. Like like I started playing the Assassin's Creed, like the first one when it first came out. I didn't like it too much, but then when two came out, I was like, "Fuck!" So I went back, played the first one. I liked it. Played the second one. I enjoyed it like a lot. Then I started playing now. Played Brotherhood Revelations, and then I got to three. I got to this mission that I could not beat for some reason. And then when I finally did beat it, it glitched, and then I had to restart it, that same mission. So it's like, fuck that. And I just stopped playing from then.
But it's not because you didn't like the game, no?
No,
Uh
the game was terrific to me. Like I love the whole Indian tribe shit.
Native
Like I
American.
love, well, they call Indians too, but yeah, Native American Indians.
Well, technically when Christopher Columbus came over, his whole argument was that because they were dark skinned like Indians, he decided to call them Indians.
All right, the real Americans.
Thank you.
But yeah, I love that shit. Like I even want a tattoo.
I've
With,
never played any of the Assassin's Creed. I've never really enjoyed them. But this one I do. I think I am gonna get it. They said that it's gonna be more like Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I enjoyed that type of gameplay more than you know Assassin's Creed. I
I
really
agree.
never really fucked with it like that. But they said that this one is gonna be a lot more gory. There's gonna be like dismemberments and shit like that. So I'm
this
looking
is the
forward to it.
Viking way.
But yeah, but then that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, they're brutish. They should be able to do that kind of stuff. If you
Yeah,
see them fucking stabbing somebody, like if it were me, you know, I want to see some like gory ass, like take the what is it? They use a lot of axes, right?
Yeah.
Instead of like backstabbing them, like do some shit like you fucking catch them in the liver and then fucking go through the back of their neck, you know, and you see the. I think that would be cool.
Yeah. I mean, well, we'll see when it comes out, but definitely in they should go on that route when it comes to, especially having it being the Vikings.
Yeah,
Definitely,
when you say gameplay, Microsoft, make sure it's fucking gameplay. Thank you.
like someone actually playing the fucking game,
Yes, please.
not the game playing us, like you motherfuckers did today.
yeah, I played the fuck out of this.
So on the topic of games, uh, a question was brought to me for us to answer. What can y'all name your top three games that you believe is a perfect 10 out of 10? Even if IGN or any other fucking critic out there
Fuck IGN.
rate it
They don't know
different.
half the shit that they talking about.
But I'm just elaborating, B. Don't attack me.
I'm just saying.
So
Should we do it the way we always do? Like everybody
start
does number three, then
start
everybody
three
does
and then go to
two.
one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it like that. We go pro, Chris, Kevin, and I'll go last.
So for me, one 10 out of 10 game of all time is oof, got me, got my ass. Um, Metal Gear Solid. I thought story, gameplay, um, well, story. I was a kid playing at the time. I didn't know half the fucking shit about war and all that stuff. But I had a hell of enjoyment just sneaking and stuff, and the music and hearing David Hayter talk. Yeah, that would be my number three.
Um,
Okay.
not to cut you off. Did you see the little thing he did with for like a COVID?
No,
It was like they doing a codec. It's him and the what's the guy, the general, whatever. I don't know his fucking name.
Fauci.
I don't know. Um, but it's them two doing the codec shit. And he's talking about like current events. It's pretty cool.
You mean
He's talking about
Colonel?
like yeah, it's him and the colonel, the Snake and the colonel, and they talking about like the current events, like the
Oh, I gotta
voting.
check it out.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's me next, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Um, God of War, the most recent one.
Ooh.
10 out of 10 game, bro. That game is perfect. It looked like a movie when I was playing it. The controls are like perfect. I love the axe, like how you could throw it, it comes back to you. It's pretty like there's not really a lot of games that has stuff like that, like
Yeah.
the weapons and shit. The story was really good. The ending was good. Like I love how they somehow like still connected it to the older ones.
Yeah.
But man, and that game brings out the most of the PlayStation. It has to because that game is beautiful.
Mm, okay.
But that's one of my 100% 10 out of 10.
Okay. Kev.
that's dumb funny because you saying God of War. I played like 2 hours and I was like, nah, I'm good on this.
It's fucking bugging.
um, one of my top three games that I would say is a 10 out of 10 would have to be the first Dark Souls. I love a good challenge. That game, every time you die, you learn something, and I really like that. It just makes you better. There's nothing like going into like a really tough boss battle, right? And then you going at it, you get your shit pushed in, you come back,
Hey
you learn a
yo.
little bit more. Pause. Um, and then like you start fighting it, and then you up to your last heal, and then like you beat him. There's nothing like that feeling right there. And the replayability, um, you definitely get your money's worth out of it. So that's one of my top three games.
Okay. Okay. So my top for my number three pick that I think is definitely a 10 out of 10 would be Kingdom Hearts 2.
Ooh, okay.
Definitely one of my favorite games I've played. I've played it over and over and over again, and I'll continue playing it over and over again. It's just one of my favorite games of all time. So that would be my number three pick.
Like
It
I'm
got
still playing Kingdom Hearts 1, and I can't wait for that one.
it got some emotional moments, like spoiler alert when is it Goofy that like fake dies or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he gets hit
And
on his head with a helmet.
Mickey does the only like
it was
anime
a rock,
shit.
right?
Was it a rock? I thought it was a
Yeah, it
helmet.
was a
Nah, it's
rock.
a rock. And then Mickey does like the only anime shit, like
Yeah,
he's about
he
to
was
go
like,
like
"You about to
Levi
go
on the Beast
ham?"
Titan. Yeah.
Oh, classic.
Uh,
All right, pro number two.
Um, Number two, 10 out of 10. I really could I say number two and then have an honorable mention before my one?
of course, that's what I was gonna do too.
Okay, so my number two would have to be the Batman game, the first one that came out with the original voice
Asylum.
actors.
It's Asylum, right? That's the first one.
Asylum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't know those games, bro. I was hooked. I literally was. I was like, God, man, it's so good. It had the Riddler puzzles or the quest or whatever you had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is that your number two or your honorable mention?
No, that's my number two.
All right.
My number two. I know a lot of people gave it a little bit of flack for it, but I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. And then that fight style was so good.
Bro,
Like,
that just started that game like started that fighting style.
and that's so good. And what I liked
Mm-hmm.
about it, it was it was true to Batman. You know, he doesn't kill, he doesn't like shoot people with guns and shit. Um, Not to say that the film with this guy that directed it, what's Schneider, some shit like that. His thing, but because that was an alternate universe, I digress. But I liked that whole gameplay, like shooting yourself up and hiding and then prowling, and then solving the puzzles and shit.
Mind
That's
you,
my
that
10 out
shit
of
all
10.
happened in one night.
Yeah, and then it really held up, like it really held up. Later on, I can't say I enjoyed the other ones like Dark Knight because I don't give me a superhero game or a fighting game and I'm driving a fucking car the
Oh,
entire game.
Arkham Knight, that shit was the worst one,
Bro, I
bro.
was driving a
Yeah.
fucking car like 80% of the time.
Yeah,
Hmm.
shooting the
Yeah, I didn't
tanks and
like
shit,
that
that shit
shit.
was the worst.
That
Yeah,
was
I
dumb.
agree.
But yeah, that's
They
mine.
fucked up there. Um, damn. My number two is an old one. It's I was kind of debating between which of the versions, but I went with Pokemon Yellow. It's a 10
Okay.
out of 10.
Mm.
I was gonna say red and blue, but I feel like yellow like made red and blue like not better, but you know what I mean. It was a better
It
version.
enhanced it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
Technically, that
Yeah,
was that was
you got
our
all the
DLC before
starters.
buying DLC.
you get all the starters. Yep, that's what that
And
was one
Pikachu.
of the main things I remembered. Pikachu follows you. That brings like a whole new dynamic. Um, then it's like they force you to keep the Pikachu like in the anime. You can evolve him, but it's like then he doesn't follow you anymore. That shit is whack. It made
Hmm.
the and then Team Rocket is actually Team Rocket. It's not
Hmm.
um like just generic grunts and stuff. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that that's one of the like I'm a OG Gen 1 fan. I always will be. And that game was a 10 out of 10 to me. Like if red and blue is 9 or 9.5, then yellow's 100% 10. Cuz it like you said pro it enhanced it. It was like a DLC but a whole new game, you know?
Hmm.
Especially for his time. Like watching the
Yeah.
show in tandem while playing the
Exactly.
game.
You felt like Ash, exactly.
Except you won.
Yeah.
And Charizard listens to you.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you can have the only I think and that one too. There's no like the thing with that one is you know how red and blue, even the new ones now, Sword and Shield. There's like versions specific Pokemon. I think yellow you could just literally catch all of them.
No, there was some
There was some
limitations.
for real. Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But
Yeah,
like you said, I liked how you could get the starters. Like you could have the most OP team.
and everybody always mimicked his team. Fucking
Red
the starters, the Snorlax, and
Hmm.
Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Yep.
Pikachu, Charizard,
Lapras.
Lapras,
It was Pikachu, Lapras, Snorlax, and then the three starters.
Beast.
All right,
Yeah, that's
Keith.
mine.
I'm gonna have to go the same direction as Chris, but I was gonna say red. Red was my favorite.
You
Um,
didn't like blue.
yeah, but I didn't get blue. I got red, so it's the same shit.
Not really.
Um, that was my childhood. So even though I ran through a couple Game Boys, I
you
still finished it.
you made another kid lucky out there. You know that?
Fuck that bastard.
Imagine he still has it to this day.
Imagine.
Imagine it's the same kid that got all three of them.
Yo, that would be fucking wild.
I've
Like,
been
mommy,
following you.
I found another one. Oh man! All right, my number two would have to be. I'm gonna take one of Chris's picks, God of War, the recent God of War.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to bring it up from 3 to 2 because that game was just cinematic. Like even even from the change from the first six, was it? For yeah, the first six games, the way the fight style was, they changed it in a different aspect, but just the game in general was just phenomenal to me. Yeah. Pro number three.
My
Oh, we
honorable
doing
mention.
honorable
Oh,
mention.
my
My
fault.
Adding
honorable
Honorable
score.
mention.
mention is Overwatch. I really enjoy a good team based
Ooh.
game, and me and my son love it. We don't play on PC as much as I would like to because we played a lot on Xbox. But just in general, like I like the diversity with the heroes. I feel like there's something for everyone. Um, the people that I do play with, I have enjoyment playing with them. I like that whole like pushing together or stopping together. It's just fun, and I don't think that other competitive games hold a flame to it. Like I know League is a big fucking thing, and was the other shit Dota, but I love the Overwatch community. I love the players. It's a diverse community too. Like it has all different fucking sexual orientations, races. Like it's really good. So
Yeah, I remember somebody telling me to get that game, and then we played for like a day.
I mean, we was waiting for you to hit whatever fucking level it was to play rank,
I mean,
and you never
how would y'all
did.
expect me to get ranked if y'all don't play with me?
That's another
I'll
story
play.
for
I'll
another
play
day.
with you.
I'm not playing that shit again.
That I'm a I like Overwatch too, cause bro, for like a good year maybe, I was heavy hooked on ranked in that game on PC. Even though I would still use the Xbox controller because I sucked with mouse and keyboard, but bro, I was heavy into the ranked in that game. It's addictive.
That's your honorable mention.
Nah, my honorable mention is I'm gonna go with Red Dead 2.
The new one.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2. That
Mm.
game,
It is
one of
good.
one of the few games that the ending made me tear up because it's really good. The story, it gets you, man. And I just love everything about it. The little characters, the little side characters you see on the road asking for help, and then you could either like help them or do whatever. You could kill them if you want. Like it's hilarious. And then like
They
the
betray you.
side quests, like I don't know if you guys played it, the side quest where there's that like murderer or whatever that he leaves the body parts.
Jack the
No,
Ripper.
I didn't do that.
It's something like that, yeah.
Unselected.
And then you finally find him and shit. It's creepy because he like knocks you out and then you in his. It's fucking crazy, bro. And
Yeah.
it's like that game is like you in a whole. It's literally you in the Wild West world. Like you really dive. They really make you dive deep into that shit. So that's my honorable mention.
Mm. Keith.
I don't have honorable mention.
I don't like video games.
My honor, you, if
I
my
got like
honor, if I have to pick one, it would be Modern Warfare 2, just for the online though.
okay, that's good. Yeah, I have like five honorable mentions.
Well, me and Chris must be best friends because my honorable mention is Red Dead,
Of course.
but the first Redemption.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
That game was just
You liked it
amazing.
better than two?
Well, I haven't finished two, so that's why I'm picking one.
Ah, okay,
I
okay.
promised myself that after I get Damascus and COD, I'm gonna fucking put my soul into that game.
You sound like me a
Bro,
month
it's
ago.
fire, bro.
So
Fire.
that game was just fire. Like, especially the DLC, with the zombies.
Oh yeah, the
Oh yeah, that
zombie
was fun. That
DLC.
was really fun.
That was
OD
Like,
fun, bro.
amazing.
that game was just fire all
Um,
around.
the thing that I loved about Red Dead One was I remember when spoiler alert, not spoiler alert. I remember when the FBI finally come and you got the people outside of your house.
Yeah, at the
Bros,
end,
when I tell you I fucking
that shit
restarted
cried.
like 3 times, I'm over here thinking, yo, I know I shot all of them. I know I got everybody. I know, bro. My
Yeah,
fucking
it don't
my
matter.
hairs are picked up are up right now because I kept trying and trying. I didn't want to believe it. I did not want to believe it. And then I waited like a day to play it. Then I went back and I realized you could play with the son now.
Hmm.
And then it has like a good like hour or two of content left for you to do all his missions, and then you get the redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that ending was a pivotal one in gaming, and I think
Yeah.
stands
I
up
like how
there.
they changed the narrative though, that the protagonist doesn't always win.
Yeah, I like that
Yeah,
too.
I've always that's my biggest thing. Like I love when the bad people win. So
So you
In
like
this
when the feds
case,
killed him?
it changed over. It changed over.
that what?
I said, so you like when the feds killed him?
No, because I'm saying he didn't win, right?
Because he's bad.
Because he's
You said,
bad.
right?
But what I'm saying, like, let's say for example, like you guys seen The Departed
Oh.
with Matt Damon,
No.
Leonardo. Well, you guys gotta watch it. That's homework. I don't want to spoil that one. But yeah, I just love when the bad people win. That's all I gotta say. But for my first one, 10 out of 10 is Nino Kuni. That
Ooh.
game is
Really?
I love
I'm
the
surprised
gameplay.
at your first pick.
I have that. I haven't touched it yet.
I love the story. I love the gameplay. The story falls in line like one of those like damn like shit makes you really feel sad. It makes you feel for the character, And if I were to go through that experience, I don't know how I would react. And again, I love the gameplay. I just love everything about it. So that's my number one.
Is
Okay.
that is that your it's the first one you're talking about, right? Not the two, right?
No, that's my number one because we already hit,
No,
my
I'm
first one
saying
was Metal Gear.
is Nino
Oh no
Kuni
no
one, right?
Nino Kuni one. Yeah, I loved it
Okay,
so
okay, okay.
much that I beat it the first time on PS3 in 16 days. Then I have a sealed copy like sealed copy in my drawer put away. And then I rebought it on the Switch and I'm playing it on the Switch. But like what I
Okay.
do is while I use my Switch, I technically like go back and forth. I try not to do anything in one sitting. So
I'm
Okay,
surprised it,
okay.
it beat Final Fantasy 7.
bro, I bought Final Fantasy 7 again on the Xbox.
But I'm surprised it beat it for your number one.
Maybe he
No,
wanted
but you
to
did
change it
but you
up.
did say this is a top 10 game. You said top 3 games that deserve a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
So you don't think it deserved a 10 out of 10?
it did deserve a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. I don't think it got a 10 out of 10 though.
Wow. Surprised me. You shocked the world on that one.
God his ass.
All right, Chris.
Um, my number one, I still got like four here, but I'm gonna have to go with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That's like number one for me right now.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
to me, is the best GTA. The soundtrack was awesome. The the game is long, but it's good. Like it's not boring long. Um, the main character has a good story. Like your childhood friends betraying you basically, and your brother, like the gang, is a good story.
Yeah.
I love how you can like work out, get brolic, or you eat and you get fat and all that shit. And what else? The gang wars between like the other gangs and shit, and how you got to take over like the certain areas and stuff. I love that stuff. So yeah, that's. I have a couple still here, but that's gonna be my number one.
All right, Keith, your turn.
My number one is gonna have to be The Last of Us. That was the single greatest story cinematic game that I've ever played in my entire life. And whoever didn't play it, you should go out of your way and go try to play it. Um,
Mm.
from the very beginning of the game, where the main character he loses his daughter, that, and then with the fact that he has to take care of somebody else's, like another child, that game is so powerful, the way that it just makes you feel. And I don't know. It just captured me. It's like I played the game. I bought it. I played it, and I beat it in one day, one straight sitting. And
Mm.
then right after that, I went to like the harder difficulty, and then that was like one of the only games that I've ever went to like the hardest difficulty and beat because it was that enjoyable. Also, the multiplayer is so low key. Like that, the multiplayer
Yeah,
is
it's
so
underrated.
fire. It's like one of the most underrated
I don't even
multiplayers
remember
ever.
that. I don't even remember that multiplayer.
Bro, the multiplayer was so fire. Um, but yeah, that's like the greatest game that I've ever played.
That was on my
And
that was on my list too.
I cannot wait for the second part.
Yeah, that was on
Mm.
my list too.
Yeah, mine too. All right, but not my number one would be has to be Metal Gear Solid 3.
Ooh,
Is it Snake Eater?
that was
Yeah,
the one on PSP, right, or whatever.
Not
it came out
PS2.
on PS2, then on PSP,
Oh, okay.
then it got ported over to Xbox 360,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it lasts. Well, no, it was even on the 3DS too.
That game was
Hmm.
so fucking fire, man. I didn't see anything wrong with the game. The camouflage, the weapons, the story, the characters, just so fire.
That's the best Metal Gear to you.
That was the birth of Big Boss, right? After he kills Big Mama.
I'm not. I have no idea, bro.
I never
Yeah,
beat a Metal Gear Solid
I
for like.
believe, yeah, I believe that's what
I
happened.
wanna I wanna throw my other two I had out there. If y'all is it
Yeah, go ahead.
still um one of them was Breath of the Wild. I think that's a 10 out of 10. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. Now I
And
liked Breath of the Wild.
and I don't know if you guys play Witcher 3. That's another one.
Oh,
Those
that's
are
on my
like
list also of
those
games
are
to
like
play.
another two honorable mention.
I know I forgot. Damn, I just had it at the tip of my tongue of the game that you was talking about. What was your first honorable mention? I wanted to touch on that one a little bit.
Red Dead.
That was your honorable.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Red Dead 2.
Um, then damn, I don't remember. But it was a game that somebody mentioned, and I like it slipped my fucking mind. But whatever, it's probably the
Was
old age.
was it Dark Souls?
No, 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 no. It wasn't Dark Souls.
GTA San Andreas?
Nah, it'll come. It'll
God
come
of
to me.
War?
It'll come to me later on. I know that'll happen. But like there is this like stigma to games that people, always have to follow a certain. Oh, I remember now. It was Last of Us. But
Oh, okay,
before I
okay.
get to that, there's this stigma that people have to follow like a certain, criteria of, oh no, the game has to have this graphics or this, type of gameplay or this type of thing to make it really stand out. Now, what I wanna when I say that, I mean is like, for example, what made Grand Theft Auto 10 out of 10? Like you said, all these things that it incorporates. Um, Last of Us, everything that it puts in the story is one of the very few games I believe hits you with the hard part at the beginning. You know,
Yeah,
that loss of
and at the
someone.
end too.
Yeah, but I'm saying like at the beginning, bro, like it happens so quick. I was like,
Yeah, and
God, like, and then the sound design for that game is fucking
the sound
phenomenal.
design and the music,
Hmm.
fire.
Like this, hearing the clickers in the like in the distance until you get close to them, and that,
Yeah,
it was something that was like phenomenal. And touching on what the thing that we're going on right now, what we're going through currently, it's like a fitting game almost to play. Like, would we live in a society now that is similar to The Last of Us? If you can make that correlation with martial law and having to go through checkpoints and stuff, because essentially they're dealing with a fungus, that's fucking taking over humanity. We're kind of dealing with the same thing, but not to that extent. I hope to not to that extent, but
Bruh.
it's one of those things where like video games are their own form of art, you know. So
Yeah, that's true. Anybody else have any that they feel they could have thrown up there before we go?
now I want to keep it. I want to keep to this one concise, only because if we end up out in the fucking talking forever. But I do want to say this: if you guys own a PC and you can run it, I recommend you go out on Steam if it's still on sale. Get Battlefront Star Wars, the first one.
Oh
They
yeah,
finally added multiplayer to it,
we
and
gotta
oh
play
my
that.
god, bro, I've been hooked, hooked.
Yeah.
When I get a chance, right, that I get like a good hour sitting to myself, I'll start with that. And the thing is, don't get me wrong, the gameplay, I mean, the graphics is not like fucking
Oh, of
mind blowing
course.
good, you know,
It
but
was
for its
PS2, right?
time, yeah, but for its time, bro, it really, really holds up because the way it is it still has the classes, and you could see how it went from that game to what it is now. They fucked up obviously with the microtransactions, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, we gotta play that.
For sure.
Oh,
So guys, I want to thank everyone for tuning in this week. Um, I know you guys are probably fucking tired of watching everything on Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, all that bullshit, but I do believe we're gonna get out of this better. You have to have the mindset to be a better person after this. Um, for me, certainly, I got really close to my family, my immediate family. You know, because um, it's I mentioned before I'm a teacher, I'm everything now. But just hang in there. You know, make sure that you're looking out for your neighbor, and in a way where it's better to give than to receive. You know, however you can, go out and do it. Cause I think I've watched Tiger King like fucking 3 times to see if the story holds up for no reason. And yeah, anybody got anything to add to that?
Um, I think when this goes up, it'll be Monday. So, happy Mother's Day to all the moms, wives, everybody out there who has kids, and even the dads, the single dads who do it on their own or whatever. But yeah, that's all I gotta say.
So, boys, this has been another Fair Shake podcast coming out of the Bronx, New York. I want to let you guys know to have a good night. What am I kidding myself? I ain't gonna get fucking fancy. Next week, we interview a cockroach. Where's your sucker?
Oh shit, I forgot. It's the Fair Shake Podcast. Sucker.